Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry that I am just now getting to do another update. I had completely intended on doing updates every week and then life happened, and I think that's going to be my excuse all the time, is that life happened. But anyway, really quick, I'm going to do haul and progress, and then I'm going to share why I haven't been able to get on and do a Flosstube update. And so had two major life events happen this week, so I done really good with haul because I have not had the time to sit around and shop. So this is the only pattern that I have purchased is Bump in the Night with the Prairie Schooler. And I'm wanting to do these individually and make ornaments with them. And then I can't remember if I shared, I got this sulky thread, and this was on Amazon. I don't think I showed this last time. But it is the 50-yard Color Petite decorative thread, the Westport collection, and I got that on Amazon. So that's the only two things as far as haul goes. I do have a finish, finally, after all this time of stitching. I know, it was a love-hate finish, because I was tired of working on it, but I was so glad to be done. I finally finished the flea market flowers. So excited to have it done. And just for the record, I did finish it that week. I think it's been 2 weeks since my last video. And I did finish it, the last video that I did, and I said that was my goal for that week. I did finish it before the next Monday, so I didn't get a chance to go to the framers, and you'll hear why in just a minute. The next one is, this is a new one. This is the free stitchography one that Fat Quarter Shop is doing, and I went ahead and started it. This one has been pretty easy to do when I can't really sit and count too much. This one is going really good. So there's where I've got on that one. That one has been a really fun stitch. It's not complicated. And I really don't want to put it down. I stitched on it 2 days, I think. Okay, the next one is the Christmas one. I don't remember what I have done since I showed you this last. I think the only thing that I have done is went back in and added the light brown where I had frogged all of it out before. But this one has took, I don't know why, just taking longer than I thought it would. I thought it would go really, really fast. And the next one is Bats and Booze by Fat Quarter Shop. It's the free stitch along, mystery stitch along that they release a part of it every week. And I think the last part was released yesterday, which was the border. But I'm doing it on 18 count, and this is some Ada that I had dyed. So there's a pumpkin here, a pumpkin here, and a pumpkin here. And then these two bats, and there's two bats down here. And then there's a center like Mandela thing, and then the border around it. So I've got that far on that one. This one has primarily been the one that I've worked on. And I didn't bring my other one out here because it's still in my pocketbook. But I worked some more on the Homely Houseplants 2-piece, trying to get it finished up. And that has been the extent of my stitching. So I got to stitch a lot last week. Not this week, but last week. My daddy flipped over an ATV on him and knocked him slap out. And he had to have an ambulance take him to the hospital. And he has a broke rib and a concussion, and he is in his 60s, early 60s. So it hurt him though, like so bad in his legs and things like massive bruises. I mean, bruises this big, the size of my head big. He wasn't able to get around and get in and out of bed and things like that. So I have been at my parents'. It's now been almost 2 weeks, but for a week I was at home with my dad, and my husband and kids have been back and forth. They'll stay here a night and go home a night and things like that. Well, then on Friday of last week, my husband had to go to the hospital and found out he was having a heart attack, and he's 47 years old. So he had a heart attack, and it was a very interesting night. Long story short, he got to critical in his blood work levels for his heart, and he had to be airlifted, and he had a heart cath, and they found he had 100% blockage in one artery, and they put in 2 stents, and he had a 30% block in another artery, and they said that medication and diet and exercise will take care of it. So it has been a very interesting 2 weeks, to say the least. But my husband is home. He actually, all of this stuff happened on Friday afternoon. He was airlifted first thing Saturday morning. He had a heart cath on Saturday morning at 9:30, and then by like 1 o'clock, my husband didn't have any kind of pain or anything, and so he's back home. He got to come home on Sunday. But it's been very interesting, and I will tell this because I think a lot of times people may get dismissed because there's not typical symptoms seen, but my husband did not have not one of the typical heart attack symptoms until we were already at the hospital. So his primary thing was he was burning in his chest. He said he felt like somebody was holding a blowtorch to him, and that's what made us go. And he had went to his primary care doctor, and they told him that he had a pulled muscle and sent him home with muscle relaxers. And my husband come home and took one, and he couldn't get comfortable. He couldn't sit still, and he just kept saying that something's not right. This is not right. Something's not right. And so we took him to the hospital, and they did another EKG and did blood work, and that's how they found it was in the blood work. But he never one time had an abnormal EKG, even whenever he was having the heart attack. So that's something for you guys to know. And another thing is my husband has healthy cholesterol and triglyceride levels. He's had a horrible diet, but he has changed it probably in the last month. So I don't know how long it takes for cholesterol and triglyceride levels to clear in the blood, but his was in normal limits, and they were on the lower side of the normal limit. So don't ever dismiss anything like that. You guys take care of yourself. So he will be building everything back up and back to exercising and things like that. And we're going to start riding bikes as a family. I can't run. I used to run a lot of 5Ks, and I can't do that anymore for my knees and my hips. So we're going to start riding bikes together. And he's a golfer, so now I get to go walk and play golf with him so that we make sure that he gets his exercise for his heart. So that's been it. My daddy is doing well. He was out for about a week, and he still wasn't getting any better and was having issues with dizziness and stuff, and he was admitted to the hospital for about 3 days. I think he stayed 3 nights in the hospital, and he and my husband got to come home on the exact same day. So yeah, it's been interesting. I thought I would get more stitching done in the hospital, but my husband doesn't sit still well, and so I was up and down in the hospital, but it's alright. I would rather he be here. But I did get a lot done that first week sitting at home with Dad before we had to take him back to the hospital. So that's my week, and I know it's a really short video. I'm sorry about that, but there's not a whole lot in the stitching world that I got done. So hopefully this will be a much calmer week, and I can get a lot done, and maybe even have another video by Monday and try to get back on routine to doing my weekly videos. So I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you have a good week, and I hope you're getting to stitch tons and tons of stuff. I'm so ready for fall and winter. I'm ready to stitch. I'm finally finished with classes until the spring semester, and what is amazing about all of it is that I was sitting in the hospital the night my husband was having a heart attack, and was having to submit school assignments because it's the very last day of the semester, and they would not allow any late submissions of any work whatsoever. So I was sitting there trying to get submissions done and being back and forth with the hospital and stuff with my dad. So I'm glad that it's over, and I'm really glad that I felt the need to take off a semester, because now I'm taking care of my dad and my husband and everything. So anyway, that's life here. So I hope everybody's doing good, and hopefully I will see you all on Monday. Thanks for coming back and watching my channel.